Why are we trusting these fake prophets of doom, these gurus out there that are just basically lying for clickbait? It is absolutely unbelievable. It's like a funny thing in the world. If someone is running a scam, a Ponzi scheme, for example, a Bernie Madoff style scheme, but there's a lot of smaller ones in real estate, people that are raising money for syndications and funds, and they're Ponzi schemes, right? They get exposed later, but it usually takes years. Usually everybody thinks they're so great and they're such heroes for a while. And then one day they get exposed. I mean, Bernie Madoff, he pulled off his scheme for decades, as you know, to the tune of what, $55 billion. It's absolutely incredible. But we've got all of these folks out there who you shouldn't trust, right? This episode is about trust, the one thing that changes everything. I was watching some videos over the weekend about none other than Nick Girelli, Reventure Consulting, who we have invited on the show several times. He did say he was going to do the interview a couple of times, and then he never did. Somehow the interview never, ever happens, right? But I looked up some other videos about his videos. They really expose the lies of these sensationalized doom and gloomers. It's incredible. They're selling you stuff. And how are you paying them? You think it's free? You think this advice is free? No, it's not free. You're paying with your time, you're paying with your mindset, and you're paying by giving them revenue because they get paid on the platforms based on their number of views. And these people have a lot of views. They get big audiences with this just false doom and gloom. I mean, look at some of these thumbnails, right? These aren't his thumbnails. These are his critics, right? Crooked truth, fake data. And I watched the video and I agree. The guy is right. And the one thing I'll say about a lot of these folks, and I'm not just picking on this guy in particular, but a lot of them out there with their clickbait nonsense BS, it's what they leave out that is really more important than what they address, right? And then they make these big like leaps in logic. That's a really critical concept to understand. The leaps, it's like, okay, there's my premise, then automatically it means this. And sometimes it's just a false premise, but other times it's a false conclusion, right? So you really got to watch out for this stuff. I love this one because here he's talking about the 2022 real estate crash. Well, let me see here, folks. It's a couple of years later now, and clearly the complete opposite happened. But what I was getting at before is, if someone is running a scam, if they are selling fake investments or giving bad investment advice, in our legal system, people can sue them. They can take them to court for damages. But why isn't it that people take these folks to court for the cost of opportunity that they missed? That can be the most expensive thing of all, right? Say, for example, this guy was raising money for a fund or a syndication, and you invested in it, and it turned out to be a scam, and you invested $50,000, and you lost your 50,000, or maybe you lost 30,000 of your 50,000, right? Okay, well, that's how much you lost. But what if he told you not to invest? What if he was manipulating the data and making leaps in logic, or just outright lying or using fake data to convince you that the market is going to crash and therefore you didn't invest and you missed out on 45% appreciation, which leveraged is, I mean, you do that at a 5-to-1 leverage ratio, just multiply that. That's like 250% return almost, right? And then the cash flow you would have had, the tax benefits you would have had, the inflation-induced debt destruction you would have had, but you missed the opportunity. Why aren't people suing these people for this? This is the bigger cost than investing in a bad investment, right? And that's why also in life, the winnings, the spoils go to those who do things and gain the power and the momentum of simply taking action. There is huge wisdom in action. right? Definitely that power of that momentum usually helps you win. When sitting on the sidelines, you never win because life and investing, definitely not a spectator sport. Okay. It is a sport where you have to participate in order to win. And we know that the market timers throughout history in every asset class under the sun typically fail, fail, fail. They are wrong, 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 because nobody can predict the market perfectly. But even if you do a pretty good job of predicting the market, just the basic momentum oriented wisdom of averaging into the market wins the day. And there are so many studies on this. I mean, we've covered them before in prior episodes, just no time to go into that today. But look, if you'd like to make sure you are not a spectator and you are not sitting on the sidelines and you're not missing out and you don't have FOMO, fear of missing out, right? Join us for our Empowered Investor Cruise coming up. So get your tickets. Go ahead and register for that now. We made it easy for you. We put this up on the front page of jasonhartman.com. You can just click through on the link on the very front page at jasonhartman.com. And we are constantly gathering some fantastic new faculty for the cruise. As you know, Robert Helms from the Real Estate Guys is going to be joining us. So we will be having different tables at dinners every night where you can sit with the different speakers. Years ago, when I went on a Forbes investor cruise, this is exactly how they did it. They had these speaker hosted dinners, and every night the guest would rotate around, but the speaker would be at the same table, and different people could have dinner with each speaker and each faculty member each different night. So we've got Robert Helms. We just got Scott Poirier to join us. He is the Fire Your Managers instructor who's been teaching me and our other students how to do lease options, how to do rent to own programs. So he will be there. You can learn from him, hang out with him. Carrie Lutz, who is the founder of the Financial Survival Network. You know, Carrie's been on the show many times over the years, and he's got some great content as well, much more broad thinking than just real estate. He, of course, talks about the stock market, precious metals, bonds, all sorts of other investments besides real estate, besides income property. So I think you'll enjoy that as well. And he will probably be doing a talk, we haven't decided yet, on the history of bubbles, which he did for us back at our Hawaii event when we held Profits in Paradise in Hawaii many years ago. Really great talk, really well received, fascinating topic. And it just makes you realize how throughout history, human nature just doesn't change much when it comes to money and investing. So go to jasonhartman.com, get registered for the cruise right away. It's going to be a great time. 5 nights, 6 days on beautiful Celebrity Apex, brand new ship. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. So that's coming up fast.